A looming question coming up in the 2025 offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers is what exactly are they going to do at the quarterback position? Both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are on one-year contracts, and it's looking like the Steelers are probably going to bring back at least one of these guys for the 2025 season. So today we're going to be breaking down the quarterback that I believe is the favorite to be the choice for the Pittsburgh Steelers at QB1 next season and why that is. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. If you love this QB room, you know how much I love these two guys, man. I think that this is arguably one of the best QB situations in the National Football League with how little they're paying these two quarterbacks and how much of an upgrade it has been over Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitchell Trubisky from just a year ago. So if you agree with me and you love this upgrade, make sure you click that thumbs up icon to kick off today's show. So before we start, and before I reveal who I think is going to be the Steelers quarterback in the starting position next year, just know that nothing's official yet. Obviously, the Steelers have not made up their minds just yet, and there's still half a season to go here before they really have to make a decision. We know that the Steelers don't usually, and it's actually a team rule, if they don't give extensions mid-season, so I wouldn't be expecting an extension for either of these guys, and they're going to make a decision once we get past the postseason and into the offseason. But it certainly looks like at this point, after 3 games as the Steelers starting quarterback, that it's going to be Russell Wilson. That's going to be the priority at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers here in 2025. You take a look at his stats so far this year. The completion percentage maybe isn't as high as some other quarterbacks out there. That's because he's bombing it down the field quite a bit, some lower percentage throws, whereas Justin Fields was more of a dink and dunk kind of quarterback, actually. The yards is pretty good at 737 after just 3 games. The yards per attempt is actually really good at 8.7, and then the touchdown to turnover ratio here is also very good through the first 3 games. And, you just see the improvement that the Steelers offense has made going from Justin Fields, where he did have a 4-2 record, but you're only scoring like 20.6 points per game. You weren't really moving the football all that efficiently. You didn't really have the deep passing game that Russ has really implemented here in Pittsburgh, and it's resulted in a 10-point difference per game, at least to this point, in Russ's tenure as the starting quarterback. You're also averaging about 80 more yards per game, and the yards per play went up exponentially. By the way, 4.76 to 5.62 might not seem like a lot, but just so you guys know, that's like going from 29th in the league in yards per play to 13th in yards per play. So that's a big jump that the Steelers have made here over these last 3 weeks. They've also improved in the third down category, and they've remained the same in the red zone. And honestly, I think Russ has played a lot better and been much more efficient in the red zone. There's just been some drops. There's been some penalties that have prevented Russ from having a higher number in that regard. Also, Russ's play style really does fit what the Steelers want to do, because what do they want? What do they want in a quarterback? They want somebody that's clutch in the fourth quarter, can deliver wins late in games. Russ is one of the most clutch quarterbacks in National Football League history. He just delivered a fourth quarter comeback last week against the Commanders. Also, he's got that deep ball to keep defenses honest when it comes to defending the run. We haven't seen that since prime Big Ben. And also, he protects the football, which allows the defense to really do its thing and dominate these football games. And the Steelers are a team that really don't beat themselves a lot, in part here because their quarterback situation right now is not giving up a lot of turnovers. And really the way it is right now, guys, because the Steelers are trying to win now, and you got to win now quarterback and Russell Wilson in the building, as long as Russ continues to have the kind of success that he is having with the Steelers, and there's not a big decline in the second half of the season here, he's going to be the priority to bring back his QB1 in 2025, and I think that's pretty obvious at this point in the season. So let me know down there in the comment section. Do you agree, disagree with me? Would you rather go with Justin Fields? Do you want to stick with Russell Wilson for the time being? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section for today's pinned comment. Give me an RW for Russell Wilson or a JF for Justin Fields. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you guys about our sponsor today at Public Rec. While I'm telling you guys about Public Rec today, go ahead, find that pinned comment at the top of the comment section, and let me know which QB you're going with in 2025. Now let's have word from our sponsor here at Public Rec. And let's be real, guys, wearing nice pants sucks. Who decided that stiff, uncomfortable fabric squeezing your family jewels was the key to looking sharp? Well, here's an early holiday gift from me to you. Those days are finally over. Public Rec's Daymaker pants are here to make sure you stay comfy and classy this holiday season. They feel like your favorite sweats, but look like tailored pants. Whether you're kicking it watching holiday movies, making your way through leftovers, or watching bowl games with the boys, these pants have you covered. Heck, they'll even keep you looking sharp for that awkward holiday party with your in-laws. Give the gift of comfort to yourself or someone you love this holiday season with Public Rec's Daymaker pants. And for a limited time only, you guys can get 20% off your entire order with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. That's 20% off when you use promo code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. And guys, the reason why Public Rec has been such a game changer for me personally is because I'm very tall and skinny. It's very hard for me to find pants in just standard sizing that actually fits my body. It's either too baggy or it's just too short. And with Public Rec, you got the tailored option. So the pants that I have from Public Rec, they're literally my favorite pants that I have in my entire wardrobe because they actually look good on my body. So if you're someone like me, you got kind of a weird shape to your body, or if you just want to look good while you also feel good in your pants, stop suffering in regular pants today and give the gift of comfort this holiday season. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off when you use code CHAT20 at checkout. That's 20% off with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Say goodbye to pants that put up a fight, because when comfort meets style, you've found Public Rec. So now that I've told you what I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers' plan is in 2025, which is to bring back Russell Wilson as this team's starter, what does that contract look like for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, a couple of projections here. Spotrac, which is a contract kind of website here that projects market value for players in the National Football League, projects that Russ could make up to $40 million per season, projecting a 2-year, $81.4 million deal on his next contract. And if he keeps playing the way that he's playing right now, maybe he's actually worth that, given where the current quarterback market is. And then Ray Filipaldo, a writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that covers the Steelers, he says that a kind of a framework that the Steelers have in mind is the Baker Mayfield contract, which is 3 years, $100 million. And honestly, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a little bit of a deal on Baker Mayfield in that $100 million contract. Baker's playing really good football. And honestly, that would kind of be a bargain for the Pittsburgh Steelers if they're able to land Russell Wilson at that price tag. And listen, man, another thing to keep in mind here is that Russell Wilson wants to win now. And what he has on his mind is legacy. All right. I mean, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars. His wife, Sierra, is a global pop star. Okay. She makes hundreds of millions of dollars as well. So money's not an issue for Russell Wilson. What he wants is legacy. As he likes to call it, he wants to feel the chill of the trophy at least 2 or 3 more times. Now, is that going to happen here in Pittsburgh? I don't know. But could he at least do it once here in Pittsburgh? I certainly think with the way he's playing, that is a possibility. And to make sure that he has the proper help around him, is it possible that he takes a hometown discount to stay with the Pittsburgh Steelers and to allow the Steelers to keep some of their higher-end talents on both sides of the football, to surround him with the proper talent to get that mission accomplished? I think it is probably a possibility, and it just depends on how much of a discount he's willing to take. I think that the ideal contract for the Steelers would be 2 years, $50 million, a $25 million cap hit. That's still a very good contract for Russ, but it also leaves a lot of cap space that could have gone to his contract that can go to other players, right? So I don't know how much of a discount Russ plans on giving the Pittsburgh Steelers, but what I do know is that what Russ has on his mind right now is winning Super Bowl championships. And there's guys throughout the league here, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, that take kind of lower cap hits in order to get more talent on their roster. So could Russell Wilson be the next iteration of that? I certainly think it's a possibility. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. Let's take the 3-year, $100 million projection here, and whether or not you would pay that contract for then a 36-year-old Russell Wilson and lock him up for the next 3 seasons. Type S if you would sign him, or type P if you're going to pass on that. Let me know what you guys are thinking down there in the comments. But Jack, I hear you say at home, Justin Fields is the future. Don't we want the younger quarterback with the higher upside long-term to be the starting quarterback of this team moving forward? Shouldn't the Steelers have an eye on the future? And, I think if the Steelers were more in a space to completely rebuild here, I would certainly be on the Justin Fields train here, and I would say potentially even play him the rest of the season to see what he can do. All right, but that's not where the Steelers are right now. Their eyes are on the present. All right, they're trying to win Super Bowls now. They believe that this team is good enough to compete right now, and what they want is a guy at quarterback that is capable of possibly delivering a Super Bowl championship. And if we're being honest, guys, I don't think Justin Fields was exactly that when he was quarterbacking this team and only leading this offense to 20 points per game. Another thing to keep in mind here, guys, is that Cam Hayward did sign that extension with Pittsburgh this offseason. It sounds like he's got this year and then 2 more years after this year to secure that much-deserved Super Bowl ring that we all know Captain Cam deserves. So kudos to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're actually putting their money where their mouth is. They say they want to do whatever is in their power to give guys like Cam Hayward, Minkah Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, all these guys that have really dedicated much of their lives and their careers to the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise, and they want to give themselves and give those guys the best possible chance to put a ring on their finger. And they went out and made that move to upgrade at quarterback this year. They have made moves at the trade deadline to try to bolster this team's chances to win a Super Bowl. And the thing about Russell Wilson, guys, is that, I keep hearing, he's a short-term option. He's a short-term option. He said to the media today he wants to play another 5 to 7 years, and there's nobody that takes care of his body better than Russell Wilson, man. He spends millions of dollars a year taking care of himself. He trains all the time, and he really does a better job taking care of his body than just about anybody in this league today. So if he says he wants to play 5 to 7 more years, can he do it? I guess we'll see how his body holds up. We're already seeing some diminishing athleticism in terms of his ability to move. But at the end of the day, man, if he continues to put up numbers like he is right now as a pure pocket passer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I could certainly see him getting at least 3 more seasons and probably anywhere up to that 7-year mark that he ends up wanting to play, as long as the play continues to be at the level that it's at. And then, another thing that I want to mention here is that I still want Justin Fields on this team next year as the backup quarterback, all right? And maybe even as the starter. Like if Russ gets hurt to finish this season, Fields comes in and wins a couple playoff games or something like that. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's a very fluid situation, and, it's not over, but if if everything goes the way that I expect it to here, I would really, really like Justin Fields to be back as this team's backup quarterback, because he is one of the best backups in the National Football League today, especially for the right price. However, I think that he's probably going to get opportunities to maybe start for another NFL team. Next year's NFL draft class does not have a very good quarterback class, and Fields played well enough in his time as the Steelers starter here. You look at that touchdown to interception ratio. Now, he did lead the league in fumbles while he was the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, plus he had multiple dropped interceptions, so I think that interception number can be a little bit misleading, but you're going to tell me that there's not some NFL GMs out there saying, hey, man, this guy's a great rusher of the football. He did a much better job completing a higher level of passes this year. He was a true threat in the red zone. I mean, there's going to be some teams out there that maybe don't have a top 5 draft pick that say, you know what, Justin Fields could be a competitor for our starting job next year, and they'd pay him a pretty decent salary to prove that he can be that type of quarterback. And I think that if he gets that real chance to start elsewhere, whether that be with like a team like the New York Giants, maybe even the Cleveland Browns, what we're looking at right now, hopefully that doesn't happen, but it looks like he's going to have opportunities elsewhere next offseason, and if he has an opportunity to start somewhere, he's going to take that opportunity for his career as opposed to willingly come back to Pittsburgh to be the backup quarterback behind Russell Wilson for another 2 to 3 years, depending on the length of Russ's new contract. So I said the day that they traded for Fields, this seems like a 1-year rental to me, and that's still where I think it's going to end up here once we get to next offseason. So predict it for me down there in the comments section. Will Justin Fields be a Pittsburgh Steeler in 2025? Predict it for me. Give me a yes or a no down there in the comments section. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We put out a bunch of great Steelers content this week, and we got more coming on the way here. We got our watch party for Week 11 versus the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday afternoon starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the largest Steelers watch parties on Steelers game days this year. Over 100,000 people watch our show every single week. So if you want a place to come hang out with your fellow Yinzers in the most interactive Steelers channel on YouTube, make sure you guys click that subscribe button and join the Steelers Talk family today.